Welcome back into Hitting Hard with Jon Chuckery on Locked On Sports Atlanta. We ask you to head over to youtube.com, put Locked On Sports Atlanta into your browser, subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave us a comment, tell us what you think about the show, what we're talking about, and of course, head over to my personal Twitter page at JMCH316. Well, things have not gone the Dallas Mavericks way, have they? Now, it's funny, and I know we've talked about this, but it is funny how it still becomes a topic. I had somebody on my radio show last week from CBS that covers the NBA, and he said Luka's building this Michael Jordan-like career. I've heard Larry Bird be mentioned. Larry Bird, the guy that won a title in his second year. Yeah, was in the Eastern Conference Finals his first year, won the NBA title in his second year over the Rockets, right? Why do we have to do this? Like, we've discussed this. Both teams won the trade. Now the thing to do is say it's Luka versus Trae, as if the NBA is a one-on-one game. You have to be an old guy like me to remember on the old Commodore 64 platform, there was a game, one of the early video games that came out, and the graphics were just dreadful, was Larry Bird versus Dr. J. Okay? For you old heads, you'll know and understand exactly what I'm talking about with it. And it was a game where you played those guys one-on-one. Pick whatever guy you want, and they went one-on-one and had some fun, all that kind of stuff. The NBA is not that. And I don't understand. This is not a matter of Luka has played bad. It's not a matter of Luka's not a great player. But why do we have to annoy? Why do we have to change up the narrative? And I keep, Jarvis Davis and I from ATL Day Ones, we keep liking to poke the bear because last I checked, Trae Young had two conference finals wins. Luka's got none. This is his first time there. And I'm not blaming Luka, but you score a whole bunch of points he scored a whole bunch of points in two games that they could have and should have won. Absolutely should have won that game the other night in Golden State when you're up by 19 at one point on them, 14-point lead at the halftime, stretched it up to 19, had it at 16 for a good bit, and then you blew that game in the third and fourth quarter. 25-13 in the third quarter, come out and lay an egg, and you lose that game. Okay, you got one of those out of your system. Then last night, you're controlling the game, and you were down early, you came back and had a lead, and then they took it right to you in that third quarter and second half. So, again, this is what we talk about. This has gotten ridiculous to the point of now it's Luka versus Trae. Well, if they lined up on the court and 1-6-7 and 1-6, well, when does that ever happen? When is the NBA decided by, without four other guys on the court? When exactly does that happen? Is there a pregame ritual that determines, I don't know, one team gets 10 extra points because they play one-on-one? It's a team game. And both of these guys are great players. And they both need help to win. You see that. Luka's, you know what Luka's record is when he scores 40 points in the playoffs? When he scores 40 in the playoffs, you know what his record is? 2-6. 2-6. That's more than just a bad night or what. That's a trend. That's a trend about it. When you're 2-6, when you score a whole bunch of points, how's that helping your team win? And that's been the point of this discussion from the Atlanta perspective of it. This is not who would win a one-on-one battle in horse and this, that. That's not what the NBA is. If they're going to start up a new league, some rebel league, and it's one-on-one, in a street park or whatever, fine, then we can have that discussion. But last I checked, it's about, does your franchise win? Is your franchise better? The Mavs are absolutely better with Luka on their squad. And guess what? The Hawks are absolutely better with Trae Young as their leader on their squad. Now, you got to find Pete, because I'm laughing now that, well, this guy went 0 for 9. This guy, okay. Have you seen some of the games Bogey and Gallinari and John Collins? John Collins is a $125 million player who at times is a single-digit scorer and rebounder. You know, if you pay a guy 120 million, wouldn't you think night in, night out, okay, 15-8 ought to be my minimum for a guy like that? But we don't always get that. Or if John Collins is even playing at times, who missed time in the playoffs. That's been the point, is when the Jason McIntyres and all the hot takers of the world start falling on, oh, he's Larry Bird, and I get a guy on from CBS, NBA, who's an NBA writer for CBS Sports. Oh, he's Michael Jordan. Slow down. Neither of these guys has won anything. The days of the idea of Magic coming in and winning a title as a rookie and Larry coming in and winning a title, those are probably over. It's probably over. You know why? Because ain't nobody like Magic and Larry. How many years did it take Michael to win a title? But now, because everybody comes in the league and they can score a bunch, they can do this and the other. Oh, well, he's Larry Bird. He's Magic Johnson. He's Michael Jordan. He's this and the other. I don't know. Folks in Atlanta, I don't know. I don't go around saying, well, Trae Young is, whatever. He's Steph Curry or this and the other. Their identity was to build a team like the Golden State Warriors, because that's where Travis Schlenk came from. So their identity is they want to build a roster and a team that looks and can do some of those things. But that doesn't mean that Trae Young is Steph Curry, because he's not. Steph's one of the all-time. You watch it in this series. When they need every big shot, guess what? Steph and Clay, boom, 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 boom. And that doesn't mean Luka's bad. Doesn't make Luka any less of a player. But we have no perspective on anything whatsoever. We got to anoint this guy. This guy's Larry Bird. With all due respect to Luka, okay? Larry and his Celtics team would run these guys out of the gym night in, night out. I mean, every night. Because it wasn't just Larry. Larry made Robert Parrish better, Dennis Johnson better, Danny Ainge better, Kevin McHale better. That Bill Walton was the sixth man of the year coming over after he literally had no feet left to play on. Larry would run those teams out. Can you imagine the Celtics roster in those days? How many Hall of Famers are on that roster? Kevin McHale started off with the sixth man, was the sixth man winner. Charles Barkley says that's the toughest guy he ever had to defend in his entire life. And that guy was one time just the sixth man on their team. So again, we get into these hyperbole narratives. Everybody's the greatest ever, everything like that. That's what drives me bonkers. Why is it so wrong to say that Trae is great, Luka's great, both franchises are in a better position? Nope. Because now I'm going to be totally honest with you, brother. I'm all about Golden State winning. I hope Golden State sweeps. Oh man, I hope Golden State sweeps now. That's what it's done to me, is this national narrative about where we're at with Luka. Is he's all this, he's all that. Why haven't they won? They had two very winnable games these last two games. They got run out of the gym on night one. Okay. And then people are like, well, yeah, Trae Young only scored this yet and the other against the Miami Heat or whatever like that. Okay. Trae Young was in the Eastern Conference Finals. They won two games. They lost to the NBA champions. Can we just stop with all the over-the-top hyperbole and everybody's the greatest thing ever and just appreciate guys for what they are? Nope. And guess what? I'm going to be right there on my Twitter, JMCH316, and I'm going to take that stick and I'm going to keep poking it and poking it and poking it. You know why? Because I'm the a-hole in this whole thing, and I enjoy being it. See that, Macho Man? I enjoy being the heel out of all of it. All right, when we get back, the Braves, after a quarter of the season, hey, they won a series against the Marlins. Yikes, could have swept, but couldn't do that. Anyway, it's all next. Hitting Hard with Jon Chuckery on Locked On Sports Atlanta.